persevere and prevail.
Now, as we begin our festivities, we are proud to introduce a special panel of past, present, and future Seattle Mariners as they discuss the many impacts of the Negro Leagues. Let's head down to the infield now for our Generations of the Game Roundtable with our host, Dave Sims.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here on Juneteenth, the first national holiday, Juneteenth. Now, while we recognize the African-American experience here, clearly we've got a lot more work to do in terms of eliminating systemic racism and voter suppression. Those are the next two things on the docket. It's great having a holiday, but we still have a lot more work to do as Americans. Thank you. It's time to celebrate the history and impact the ball players from over a century ago have had on our game and now in our future. Generations, the Game Roundtable, highlighting the past, present, and future players. Let's introduce our first player, the future, 13 years old, Central District Little League, inaugural member of the Hometown Nine, King Allah. Our next guest, right-hand starting pitcher, made his debut in 2019. Key member of the rotation. Opponents hitting just 200, under 200 against him. Number 35, Justin Dunn. And from the past, one of the greatest guys I've ever known, one of the greatest Mariners of all time, first baseman in the 80s and 90s, the 84 AL Rookie of the Year, the first member of the Mariners Hall of Fame, Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis. All right, guys, thanks for being here. This means a lot to me, and I think to a lot of other people here, too, and to you guys. We want to discuss the history and the generations. Let's start with Justin. What's it mean for you to be a big leaguer, and being in a uniform that the Seattle Steelheads, they wore back in their 1946 season?
First and foremost, it's an honor and a privilege, man. To be able to honor and give my respects in this way to the people that came before me. You know, everybody knows about Jackie. Everybody knows about the other guys who have broken to the league, but there are players on the Steelheads who are probably just as talented and never got a chance to play on this stage. So to be able to put their uniform on in a big league game and honor them and pay our respects is truly a privilege.
Outstanding, outstanding. For Alvin, you know, you're still doing some coaching, and you've been out of the game as a player for about 30 years now. It's been that long? That's hard to believe. What was your experience like as an African-American ball player, and what kind of things have you seen change since when you broke in?
Well, you know, I grew up in a baseball family in a city that loved baseball, Riverside, California, and so baseball's always been a part of my life ever since I can remember. Little League days. You know, I got inspired as a young person through two of my heroes, Bobby Bonds, Dusty Baker, not only from Riverside, but from our neighborhood. We played at the same Little League. I played the same Little League they did. And so that dream was a reality because I saw two of my own make it and do very well at the big league level. So it wasn't like they were from the big city or, you know, from across the country or from another country. They were from my hometown, and that was very inspirational to me. And, you know, as I came up and grew up, you know, baseball was just a part of the black community. It was a part of the city. Yeah. It's just what we did. And so it was just kind of natural, I think, to follow that path as far as it would lead me and wherever opportunity would take me.
I know from my standpoint, being here in Major League Baseball, I throw a big tip of the cap to Bill White, who was the first black announcer that I saw on radio and TV, and just a wonderful man and a great broadcaster. For Justin, you're one of 8 players on the opening day roster last year. This was a great moment in Houston, the home opener here at T-Mobile Park, and you and your teammates got together powerful moments to take a terrific picture. I thought it had big impact. What was it like? You had 8, 9 African Americans lined up and saluting. And I thought that was just brilliant. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I mean, just to walk into a locker room with 8 or 9 African American players was something truly special, nothing I've ever experienced in this game before. So to be able to walk into a clubhouse every day with guys who look like me, understand what I go through on a daily basis, and can relate through all the trying times that we had last year was pretty special. And in that moment, it was a way for us to make a statement, and we would not have been able to do that without the Mariners front office, our clubhouse, and everybody having our back. So first and foremost, thank you to everybody who made that possible and gave us the courage to do that. But to be able to be on the field with them and again, honor everybody who made this possible and acknowledge the things that we're going through in our country and things that need to change was a pretty special moment.
Indeed. King, for you, you're sitting here with a couple of big leaguers. Welcome, man. This is great for you. And I know you hope to be here one day. What do we need to do to get more kids of color to fall in love with the game that you love so much, baseball?
I feel like we need to introduce it more, push it out there to colored kids, because when I was growing up, it wasn't really pushed for me to play baseball. More of basketball, football. And if we do this, we can get more kids to love baseball like I did.
Good for you. Great answer. Couple of minutes left. Just want to go around the arc here, ask each generation, pass on some words of wisdom and hope to the next. Alvin, what about you? Your hope for Justin, his teammates, and the current generation of professional black ball players?
Yeah, I just hope that they continue to have the opportunity, because I think that's what the struggle has always been about, equal opportunity and to be treated equally. You know, not any better, not any worse, but just to be treated equally. And that's my hope for them. And as Justin just so well said, that they will continue to keep the door open for generations to come behind, to stand on their shoulders, just like I was able to stand on the shoulders of those that came before me.
Beautiful. Thank you. And finally, Justin, you've got a young athlete right next to you. What are your words to King, some words of encouragement?
Yeah, very, very similar to AD. I think for you, just continuing to do what you're doing, be a leader in the youth and encourage young African-American kids to get out and play this game. You already have courage that I did not have at that age, so keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard, and keep encouraging people and getting people to want to do what they would love to do as well.
All right, great advice. Guys, good to have you with us. King, Justin, Alvin, I'm Dave Sims. Let's go Mariners, play some ball.
Once again, let's have a special thank you for Dave Sims, Alvin Davis, Justin Dunn, and King Allah.